Hello, Counter-Strike fans across the world. It's ECS Season 6, coming to you live and direct from the beautiful Santa Monica, California. My God, have we got a show for you today. All the best teams from around the world playing for your delight and delectation. It's going to be a lot of fun. My name is Henry G, and of course, I'm brought to you, as usual, by the lovely James Bardolph, DDK. Gentlemen, it's a new week. We've got 8 games, or 8 days of play to come. Are you ready for this?
We do. I am ready, although I didn't get a haircut, Henry.
Okay, is that a bad thing?
I walked head first into a spike, and I still have a hole in my head. It's actually where the headset sits is exactly where it is, which is kind of annoying.
It's going to be a rough start. I didn't get a shower today. I had no hot water, so I'm feeling a little bit rough. I might be all over the place for the first few games, so I might need your help here. Daniel, to kick things off, could you give us a bit of a social media plug and see if you can nail it today?
So we haven't had maybe as much engagement on the social medias as we would like. Henry was complaining that he didn't get tweeted enough, so feel free to tweet him and also us at ECS, hashtag ECSS6, get involved in the conversation. And of course, you can find out more information about the league, schedule, where the teams are and all that goodness at csgoleague.com.
That's perfect. You did a really good job there. James?
I'm impressed.
He set the bar for you. I want to see you nail what's going to happen after 5 weeks of play. Where's it all leading to?
It's all leading to Arlington, Texas at the eSports Stadium. Brand new, still being built as I understand it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm very curious to see an eSports stadium, like a dedicated eSports stadium built for purpose as opposed to repurposed. That's going to be really interesting to see, and that's where our finals are going to be, so you can get yourself some tickets, arlington.csgoleague.com. Get down to Texas, get some beef. Unless you're vegetarian, then probably just avoid Texas. Yeah,
might be good advice. Thanksgiving weekend, everyone's going to be on holiday. We're going to have lots of hype on the ECS event going on there. And speaking of hype, if you want to get some FACEIT points, you have to hook up your accounts. Hit the Get Loot button and bring your FACEIT account to the YouTubes, and you can be eligible for drops and all sorts of fun there. You have to be signed up, though. Hit the orange button and make sure you hook up your accounts. So we did. There we go. We did a very good job there. We hooked up all the shout-outs perfectly, and now we can look at the leaderboard perhaps and see who's going to be playing in the European Division. Well, we'll see who's doing well in the European Division. We'll have a look at who's playing after, as we'll bring that up and have a look at where the league has taken us so far. Here we go. It will be Mouse Sports at the very top, and that's a questionable one we have to kind of discuss. They've just brought Sticko back, and do we feel they'll continue their good form? Will they get better, do you think?
Get better.
Just quickly?
I think, well, no offense to Snacks, but I was sad. I think a lot of people were when they removed Sticko in the first place.
Yes.
But it's like when you break up with a girlfriend, you're like, oh my God, actually she's really nice and stuff. Maybe I should get back with her.
Well, that's always the thing. You always think that, and then you get back with them and you realize, oh, this is the reason we ended it in the first place.
Well, you probably got the wrong girlfriend, Henry.
Yeah, possibly.
But hopefully Sticko is the right one, and the Mouse Sports will be back in a comfortable position now.
We'll also see being Fnatic for the first time in ECS today. It's going to be a lot of fun. I guess we can look at the schedule for today and have a look at who's going to be bringing us the action. I know we've got some star-studded games coming up. This one especially, Faze versus Fnatic. That's got to be the game of the day, regardless of who's playing. Faze have also looked up and down recently. Fnatic also in a bit of turmoil. Do we feel like that's going to be a decent game, or Faze going to show some form? Where are you sat with that?
I think it absolutely has the potential to be a decent game. I'll always look forward to seeing Fnatic on an Inferno, for example. And I think they've got the right tools for the job for Mirage as well. Is it? I mean, yes, it's early for the new changes they've made, like Twist and so on, but we'll see how they do.
I'm excited just to see where they're at right now. That's been the best thing about ECS, I think, is the barometer we're getting on each of these teams. Dan, just speaking about G2 quickly, surely not going to have any sort of chance against Astralis from what we've seen so far.
Possibly the most uneven matchup we could possibly have in this league. So I think that really says it all. G2 are going to get very crushed based on what we've currently seen. I don't know.
Are they the third best team in France?
Yeah, they are.
Do you feel like you rate LDLC above them right now?
I don't know if Vitality have played a game yet.
I
would still put them above G2.
Yeah.
I would say just because of how hyped and hungry they're going to be and fresh for ideas, I feel like I would probably agree they'd probably beat them in a game right now. But it's very difficult to tell. We have no idea. Right?
Yeah, but they've got better players.
Sure, but you need more than that to be a good CS team.
That's true, but I'm still putting them above G2.
That's fair enough. I'm not disputing it.
How can they be worse? Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but I think that's a reasonable question.
No, it is. Like, for anyone who hasn't watched the G2 games in this league in particular, is where we're getting our sample size from. They have looked woeful, right? They did not look like a world-class team. They've lost to almost everyone. I think they've picked up 1 map so far. They're 1-7, I believe. Really not ideal. And G2 are scrapping right at the bottom. At this point, for contention for relegation, perhaps. So that's really not going to look too good for a team that's got so much investment behind them, so many star-studded players. Surely we've got to see more from them, Dan.
I think for me it seems like they're playing Counter-Strike that's like 3 or 4 years outdated.
Yes, I would agree.
Almost. So that's like the weird thing. When you watch them, it kind of looks like, okay, there are some flashes of brilliance here. There's always going to be that the case without Kenny S and Shocks and so on. But overall, it just seems a bit weird to watch. Just something seems a bit off, and I think that's what it is.
I think you're absolutely right, but let's focus on FaZe and Fnatic for now, considering that's the first game coming up. We're going to kick things off with a classic Mirage matchup, so that's going to be fun, and we'll see whether that's going to work out for Fnatic. We haven't seen them in the league so far. They've made drastic changes within their roster right now. You mentioned it. Twist has come in as the main sniper now, so he is probably one of the few main snipers we have in the entirety of Sweden, right? That's a problem they have. They have plenty of people that can use the AWP, but no real world-class talent. Do you feel like Twist is a name that you'd put up there with some of the best?
Twist is very good with the AWP. The problem is, for the longest time, he's been on teams which just haven't succeeded. He said no to NIP I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
And I think he's wanted to focus on playing with his friends. So I think one of the problems with that, I mean, for part of it, he was still playing CS against the top flight opponents in leagues and so on, but he's not really going to be having a kind of battlefield experience in the last few years, as many snipers will. So I think he may have to catch up in experience in that respect, like fighting the Guardians more often than fighting, you know, whoever tier 2.
Yeah, his name has been around now for like 4 or 5 years. Like as long as I've been casting, he's been there, but never really truly realized his true potential. I don't think it's always just been like, oh, he's a decent player, but never really like what a huge trophy. Always been like the godsend teams and kind of working his way up. Do you feel like Fnatic, this is a player they need? Like, can you remember what went wrong with Draken? Like, why didn't that work out for them?
I think Twist could work out well, just from, I hope, from a camaraderie perspective. I think from what I understand, maybe the atmosphere in the team wasn't amazing, and sometimes just switching up one of those players, getting some different chemistry in there can really help to bolster the ranks, and hopefully, you know, Twist can help to, as a different AWPer entirely from Draken, and a pretty well-rounded player, hopefully he can just allow them to sort of restructure in a way which is positive moving forwards. I think they need to do a lot of sort of soul searching as to the identity they want to have with the team. So I think this would probably be one of the best moves they could have made.
Do we know if Scream is still playing within them right now?
I need some confirmation.
Could the guys on the server
in the back, because
Scream is playing today?
He is.
Okay. So like, just to touch on that, so Scream almost certainly will not be a full-time member. A lot of people are speculating right now. Have you guys heard of a player called Brolan? Have you seen that guy before?
Brolan's really good.
16 years old, and he's like the next big thing. And I feel like Sweden have been missing out on the younger talent like that for a long time. I think that guy's absolutely sick. I feel like that could be something that lights the fire beneath Fnatic. They can sign him and maybe have the combo of Brolan and Twist, who have played together before. Have you guys watched him? Are you familiar with this guy?
We've seen him play before. I haven't seen him play recently, but I think name value goes a long way in Counter-Strike, especially considering how old the game is. So I think maybe you hold on to those names for longer than you otherwise might. But especially this year, almost like this year is the... I mean, partly we had the odd player come in. You got your G2K, for example, but I think it's becoming more widespread now, bringing up the young talent early. Yeah. It's just like football, really. You've got like people with 19-year-olds playing for their country and so on. So.
Sure. Dan, you normally talk about mechanics and stuff like that. These younger players that are like 16 years old, they don't have any bad tendencies from previous iterations of Counter-Strike, right? They only play CSGO. They've got that skill set. Do you feel like that's an advantage coming into the game this year when it's just focused around like raw fragging and these young powerhouses? Do you feel like they have an advantage over the old dogs not having those old tendencies?
I think it is really an interesting discussion, because we used to have, you know, for years we had to adapt, you know, because we had peripherals that weren't necessarily designed for like pro gaming. We had like mouse pads that were only very small, like desk configuration. I mean, Jay's played on like a bureau for a very long time. You know, there was a development of styles across different regions. There was an entire sort of style of play called the Russian style, which was designed around small desks and having a keyboard on the lap and so on, and you're like at this interesting angle. And so there's all this stuff, all this evolution over 15 years that took place. I feel like now we've actually gotten to this place where, you know, if you're going to sit down at a desk with a you know, with your peripherals, you're probably going to be much closer to sort of the end point, which we've now gotten to, which took us 15 years to get to. So I think you're right. There is an advantage from a mechanical perspective, just because you're going to have the better equipment and just a better examples. Like, you know, you have all the trickle down effect of, you know, what everyone's doing that's successful now just personified into the youth. So that's a scary prospect, and that's one of the reasons why, for example, a team like G2 is really struggling, falling behind. Because even though those players can hit some of the same peaks as the youngsters, as you're describing, they can't do it with the consistency.
And it's a really interesting conversation. I think 2018 has been really indicative as to where the game is going. We're seeing a lot of the big names that we know and love. I think the last major you guys hosted was a very telling sign of that. The fact we only had one Swedish player there, for example. Sweden is such a massive nation in Counter-Strike, mainly made up of older names. They were barely represented at the final 8 of the majors. Same story for France as well. Do you feel like that's the way the game is heading towards? Like 2019, we'll see a lot of these players step back, and it's going to be mainly youngsters?
I think we need them spread more thinly across, well, spread across more teams, because I think one of the issues with the failure to evolve, if you look at Virtus Pro, for example, is that people are, it's the same old ideas, basically.
Sure.
They need some fresh ideas. I think that's one of the main things. It's not just like individual play, but not just doing the same thing you've been doing for 5 years.
Well, we're into it, chaps. It will be Scream playing for Fnatic here, their debut in ECS Season 6, up against the mighty Faze, who've got Nico calling now. A little bit of flux position for them, not really sure which way the team is heading, but Guardian seems to be in charge here. The P250 working out very nicely for him to kick things off. JW goes down, and there will be an A-side attack here from Faze. Just twist to defend. The newly signed Sniper up against it now as Scream will try and back up from the short area. But you can see Faze being very tentative with their approach, and rightly so, as they find the second kill.
There's not a good start here so far for Fnatic, getting caught off guard on the rotation as well. Rain defending around middle. It seems impossible to get in, and indeed that's the case. No one going down at all for Faze, so very comfortable. Nice move into that A-bomb side through connector. Worked out very nicely indeed. And we have the new update now, so you can see that.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Bonus money, baby.
Instead of $1,400, you start at $1,900 if you lose the first round.
Oh, let's see what happens here then. Will they purchase up anything? So no, most teams right now would be purchasing the old meta. You'd be purchasing an Force Buy into this round, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're not going to do that. We're going to be getting into the next round with enough to buy, presumably, to take less emphasis on the pistol, as we'll see them guys barrel out of the apartments here. This is quite exciting. This is completely
like
fresh
this.
start for us. Have you guys watched any games on the new patch yet? Is this the first one?
Obviously, Henry, I've been playing lots
You've
of
been
games.
playing it, so maybe you can describe how you've seen it go down in the next round.
I think at the moment, a lot of people are going to be ecoing. I feel like if the T side lose a pistol, depending on the map, we may be more likely to get a Force Buy. If you've got a close quarters map like Inferno, maybe some Mac 10s where you've got a utility man, 1 or 2 utility men who can pick up weapons later, like pushing a B bomb site. So I think that we'll see second round buys from a T side first, but for now, I think the eco is standard. But you're left with the problem with this situation is that you don't really have all the grenades in the world in this round. So depending on the map, you may choose a different approach here anyway.
Well, there it is. It will be the M4s coming out. So you can see the game evolving here as it looks like a fast B play will be developed by Faze. It's going to be exist to defend, drops the smoke to try and buy himself some time as the flashbangs rain through. And it looks like he might be in a lot of trouble. The Mac 10 will open things up. The smokes are perfect. This is looking perfect for Faze as JW has to make a play through the smoke. And it does work out for a couple of kills, not quite. Gets the dink, but Nico will come out on top. It's a 4 versus 2 with Twist and Crims. Surely with no chance of a retake here.
Yeah, looking like the save is going to have to be the play shortly. Crim's still trying to poke his head in through short though. There's so many players to peek him, so he's going to be really cautious here. And indeed he's going to back away in the end. And Twist just trying to hold these players in, trying to make sure they can't escape, but Carrigan will take him down. So only one gun surviving, and I gotta say I'm looking forward to seeing the teams that I feel like there's some maps where you can not necessarily 100% guarantee, but have a pretty strong guarantee at a bomb plant, even with no utility and no Kevlars. So I'd love to see those full save T rounds where you play for the bomb plant, and because then you have even money as though you would have won the pistol round.
Yes.
So it's actually a win-win scenario where even if you lose it, you're still on even footing, and if you actually win it, then you have the advantage. So there's actually no downside in a sense to doing that on specific maps, like maybe like a train with a B rush, but maybe then it's telegraphed as well, depending on the map and the team and so on. So I really look forward to that, how that might develop.
Me too. Well, there we go. It will be a partial investment here from Fnatic. They save 1 M4. But Faze surely going to be running away with this round. You can see how confident Rain looks as he gets towards the connector. There's a flash attempt here from Twist. Remember, this is the first game we've seen from Fnatic, and they still don't have a full roster. Scream's in the lineup. The Belgian aim star will be filling in as Fnatic search for their final member. That's what we believe to be the case anyway. So right now they're communicating in English, I would imagine. That makes things a little bit more problematic for a team that's probably never really done that. Obviously capable of doing it. Lots of experience in FBL, for example. Crim's down to 1 HP. 3-0 as FaZe look to open things up. And here comes Guardian with the AWP. Might find himself in hot water against these CZs, though.
What I think is actually interesting about the new economy situation is that it almost encourages sides to buy early when they're not very well equipped because of the lack of grenades and so on. So it might actually serve them better. I would like to see people go for the force buy anyway, as before, because if you lose that and you go to your buy round, you're going to have more money than you otherwise would. Whereas I think if you look at the margins, in the current situation where you eco and you start with less than you would otherwise have, it might end up being worse for some particular teams, maybe depending on the map as well. So I think that'll be interesting going forward. Lots of data to mine. Now this is getting dangerous for FaZe, as Rain and Nico are heavily tagged, and 3 pistol players remain. They know where one of them was, where he took Twist out. Now this has been spotted. Really wants the AWP, but he can't quite reach it. I think he can be patient and go for it in a second. Let his teammates run distraction. But Rain is watching for it.
Well, that should be the round. As I say that, though, there is a PT50 kill from JW. Remember, no armor, no kids, but now they do have the AK-47. JW starts to creep towards the steps here. Think he might be out of luck as Carrigan is above him, and Scream, with less than half health, doesn't really have much hope to do much here. But considering they got 3 kills on the eco, it's not too bad. They'll be able to buy up next round, presumably with the AWPs as well. Here's Scream just trying to find one more if possible. Desert Eagle in hand. Anyone going to peek him? There will be a chance of a kill here, but it looks like it might just be going against him. Have to fall back as he wants to at least keep the Deagle. Not going to happen. Nico will take him down. It's going to be 4-0. 2 players to survive for FaZe. They've got lots of money there. 10k on Nico. Can presumably drop the AWP for Guardian. We'll see if that rings true as we get into the next round. Who's going to drop it for him? There it is. Nico will have the AWP. And for the first time, JW uses the AWP as well. Remember, it's not actually Twist. We probably should have mentioned this in the pre-game. It's not Twist who's going to be main AWP. Surprisingly, for his whole career, he's been an AWPer. It's JW going back to that role. After that big discussion, that Draken was taking over the position, but that didn't work out. Crimzo converts the frag. JW legs up Rain. Blind. Crimzo's had to land a few bullets in his general direction. Successfully does so. And this is looking like a decent start now for Fnatic.
Good kill in return coming in from Nico. Dodgy smoke there. Oh my goodness, just pre-firing the corner around the side. That's beautiful. And now a big problem for the defense of Fnatic. They're looking so good to defend what was seemingly going to be that B attack again. That split with Nico going up the short position, something that's very common with the Danish teams on the T side. And ECS, you can see him really struggling here, just trying to fall back, trying to buy time there with the grenades. Oh, beautiful there, able to make it work. 2 versus 2 though, as Nico still lurks, being such a nuisance.
Oh, he's got this nailed, hasn't he? Guaranteed kill, takes down Twist, and they know Crims is stuck in the kitchen. So he'll hold the AWP, hoping that a mistake is made here, but they can see the bomb making its way through the underpass all the way towards A. That cheeky little smoke, it's a flashbang. So we're going to try and get the bomb down in a nice covered plant. Make sure it can't be exposed from shorts. That's obviously the danger area, and it will be perfectly done for FaZe here. This is looking so good for Fnatic, and Crims almost has no chance here.
Here's minimal. That should be guaranteed. Oh, he got a shot off. It's more than you could ask for. And yeah, I think like statistically, it's going to be interesting to see if there is an edge for the T sides because of the extra money given to a CT side when they lose a pistol. I think that's really curious. If you're more likely to start 4-0 than you were 3-0, for example.
Another eco. Doesn't get any easier for Fnatic just yet. HE grenades purchased. They got 4 of those, and they're going to presumably deploy them towards middle here. Maybe the mid boxes if they can. That'll be almost a guaranteed kill if they can deploy them up through the smoke. Here they come. Airstrike deployed. Oh, successful to an extent. Damage done, but no kills found.
That was really cool. That was actually awesome. Behind the short smoke and everything, that's really cool. I haven't seen anyone really doing a play like that before.
That's a nice idea. I'm stealing that.
I was about to say, I want to steal that. Do I see it with an eagle? Ooh, almost gets a couple kills, but fortunately nothing there. But the scout and the maneuverability of it might be good here to finish off the softened up players, of which now there's 2 remaining after that kill from Crims.
Yeah, there's a chance here. There's AK available, but Scream can't connect the dots. Crims can, but he finds the healthy player out of the 3. Leaves him in another pretty much impossible situation with the weapon he has. No armor, no nades, no kit. 3 kills to find. If he had the AK at this point, maybe there's a chance, but just having to spam wildly at this point, hoping to take one more player down with him. Don't think it's going to happen, chaps, and FaZe will extend their lead to 6-0 here in the first map of the day. We have 8 to bring you. That's not bad. That's all he could ask for as Karrigan takes him down, so it keeps them relatively modest, but their money's already out of control. Shouldn't really be an issue. You can see they've got plenty of cash, especially Karrigan, who drops the AWP, purchases again, still has $8,000 in reserve.
Eco having a lovely little game. I think that was his first death, 12-1.
I think this is definitely a comfort pick for FaZe, Mirage. Never shy to go in this direction, and I think Nico's very comfortable leading on this map as well.
Double AWP setup. Twist will be joining in. Smoke deployed and a boost towards short. Scream in position to get the opening kill here. Needs to be very careful though. Drops off. Makes a bit of noise there. Good grenade though in return. Let's land significant damage towards Rain. We'll be trying to still probe towards short. Flashbang's coming through. Needs to be very careful here. Who comes out on top? It will be Rain. Scream agonizingly close there, but still a 4-on-4.
I love this emphasis we're seeing from Fnatic around the short position. Setting up some really cool plays. Oh, how is that a miss? That's crazy. That sucks so much for Fnatic. 4v4 and the bomb now moving through to the stairs. This is where FaZe start to get dangerous. Moving all over the place here, looking for that A attack. And as you can see, the Fnatic are out of position, very passive. So they may have to give up the site, especially due to the grenades to the left. Actually, that said, there's no smokes left for FaZe, so it's going to be hard for them to block off Twist here with this AWP. This might be quite difficult yet for FaZe.
Oh, Twist is in so much trouble. The fact that Olof's on the site. And he's got the bomb as well. He can actually get this plant down. There's nothing they can do about it. Good shot from JW, though. Gives them a chance. They have the man advantage. They have a smoke as well. Double AWP on the retake, though, is far from ideal.
Olofmeister creeping out, takes one in the face. Where are the last 2 players? That's the question now for Fnatic. 4 versus 2 exists with a late flank from short. We'll take out Guardian. And leaves Karrigan alone. He's got a Molotov, but in 1 versus 4, I can't really afford to even think about taking that one out. And Twist will hold the angle for Fnatic's first round. Surviving with 4 players is good. To make K's would be nice as well. There's one. Now they need to avoid the reset. There's some money to weather the storm, but always good to see JW on AWP. I'm not sad that he's back on the sniper rifle, but of course double ops is absolutely a thing they can go to whenever they want to, with the likes of Twist on the side as well. So let's see now. Opportunity awaits for FaZe. Take all the money away from Fnatic and aim for a 10-1 scoreline. Crims have some aggression. Now, Rain's legs, if he was more to his left-hand side, Rain's legs would be visible to a CT going down the ramp a little bit because of that peak in the arch. But he seems well positioned.
That's the smoke we're seeing more and more of these days. Allows you to stand on top of the steps, but it's not on them. As we'll see, Twist surely open things up there. Get a nail the first shot, and he's baiting his teammate perfectly, but Crims, he'll be taken down. It's Twist is finding all the shots. They're looking for his third, but times it incorrectly. 3 versus 3 with a little bit of utility remaining for FaZe. They've got a smoke and a couple of flashbangs here. I'd give Fnatic a strong edge here. Nowhere near the bomb site just yet. Olofmeister looking for the flanks as they are holding strong on the A ramp. As the flanks begin, you can see the CTs probing towards middle. That's going to be Scream, locking them in towards A.
And FaZe just cutting noise. This amount of time with no spot for the CTs does make them start to question that rotation towards B. And that does peel 1 player away. So if they want to move in now, they should be good to go. No AWP to stop them. They could just walk onto the bomb site. Well, can they know it at this point though? And there's the smoke to secure a plant at the very least, and maybe to bait out some CTs. Time is of the essence. Bomb plant will be made. Is there a shot available towards the smoke from JW? No, not quite. So this will start off the action. He'll start it off well, taking down Karrigan and forcing the T's back.
Look at the hold now from FaZe. They don't really have position of this. Olofmeister smoked out, and indeed the bomb as well. They can just go for a full defuse there. I don't think the T's even have a chance to deny this. It's over. Oh, what?
Well, Nico now, that's 1 player in the red, and Exist is going to get taken out. Can he find the right angle if it's Scream? Absolutely he can.
Oh,
that is a colossal win for FaZe. Again, Fnatic survived with 4 players, so there is some money, but as you can see, it's not really enough.
That's insane that Olof pulls that one off. That shouldn't be happening. That's like 1 in 10, I would say, that connects every time. That's pretty wild from Olof nicely. You got 1 shot. Don't give it the AK, that'd be difficult to guarantee. There's a frag there. He gets it down with the AWP.
That's
no problem at all.
for you.
What an absolute beast. And the fact that the remaining player on the CD side didn't have a kit, that is guaranteed. There was no chance at that point. Maybe if he did, he probably got it, but not going to be the case. Perhaps a little bit lucky, but that was beautiful from Olof. As we'll see now, another eco from Fnatic as the reset is real.
So I'm not used to that lineup that Nico's doing with the smoke in mid. Is that just to create more of a gap on the side?
I didn't see it.
Okay,
Where does it land?
It's the cat smoke.
Oh, so maybe, yeah, so you mean it might have a little bit more of a gap towards the left so you can see towards short more?
There are, I think, at least 3 different ways people smoke it, maybe even 4. From T-spawn. 1 in front of the bin, 1 on top of the bin, 1 away from the bin, like more to the left towards A. Those are the 3.
Yeah, that's what Nico was doing. That doesn't look ideal, that smoke.
Wishful thinking. Not quite hitting the mark.
Remember, they are eco here, but they have got a pretty awesome setup. Orbs coming through, and they haven't probed towards A at all, so they're going to walk into the stack, and there we go. Little combo from Scream and Exist there. Nico found himself in hot water here. The Deagle keeps connecting, and so do the AKs. 3 on 3. Scream still alive and looking dangerous.
It's a fun setup. Normally, if you bounced a flash out the window, they wouldn't have flashed them from the position they were holding. But now Scream is gone. He's smoked like a kipper. Twist and Crims to remain. There is the high ground, though, for Monsieur Crims, and he picks up an AK-47. Default plant from Karrigan, standing on the site for the time being. This could still really fall to pieces. That's a huge frag. He knows one's on the site. Nice pre-fire from Crims. Now he's got to run distraction for Twist with his lowly USP, moving up the short position. Going to take him a while, though. Oh, that's a free kill. There's not enough men to cover all the angles. Now Karrigan's in 1 versus 2. You know the shorts player's pushing. Crims still in the window, gone, and now Karrigan has some advantage. However, never mind. Straight in the head, needed to be, because he was low on health. 2 bullets and Karrigan was done. 1 bullet to the head, though, and it's 8-1 Faze.
Karrigan, former Fnatic member, managing to get it done there in the 2 versus 1. Lovely shot in the second as well. Arguably, should have been running around the bomb site, managing to run the timer down, considering his low HP, but wanted to take the aggressive duel, and it worked out for him. Lovely stuff. And we'll go 8-1. Double up set up again. As Crims goes down, that's a classic Guardian pick there. Crims right in the open.
Surprised
brave to even try that.
Yeah. Running straight down towards the ramp position with a HE. Could bounce it sideways from the side.
Yeah, indeed.
It would be a lot safer. Hello, goodbye. Twist delivering with the sniper rifle as well. Bomb continues to move towards the A site, as that's where the team are. Got Rain in connector for now, looking towards short just in case. Some nice grenades from him. That's 1 to learn. That's a big grenade, actually.
That's cool, isn't it?
It's a very big grenade.
Well, they're covering short. The bomb's down again. There is a kit available, but nothing to help them out with the defuse. This shot has to connect. Twist can't do it. And now finds himself in a lot of trouble here. Flashbangs being deployed by the T's. 9-1 looking likely here. It's going to take something brilliant from Scream.
It's getting so close now at this point.
It exists with the kit as well. Coming in, but Scream dropped first. He hits the insta-kill there. Maybe there's a chance, but once again, it's Faze picking up the round, and Twist saving the AWP. They're going to have 3rd stage loss bonus, which will be $2,400. Not really enough to have a compelling buy. Maybe they'll go for the partial around the AWP and give themselves a fighting chance if they desperately need rounds. Twist, not the best spawn either. Might want to go towards Palace, jump up and see if he can get the first frag. Nico always there. That's focusing towards middle by the looks of things. 1 round on the board. Fnatic need a bit of a miracle here. This could be a round for them though. If the jump is nailed, which it is. Looking for players crossing towards short now. They're holding up very defensively. Oh, Guardian spotted him. Didn't he? I'm not sure.
I think it was the outline of the X-ray. Hard to check sometimes. That's pretty nice to boost on your opposite side. Will it pay off, however? Ooh, you really got to make sure the arc of your jump is, or the peak of your jump is not when you're showing yourself to the likes of Guardian. Legs? No. Where is the sniper rifle? Got nobody top mid for the T's, but they are watching it from the entrance to B halls. Nico deploys a grenade.
Right in there. Hope still on shore. No one really heading that direction. Here we go, a bit of action. Olof will go down and at least discover the positioning of Twist, who tries to desperately make his way back towards A. He knows they're going to go on the opposite side of the map, so he needs to act quickly here. Good smokes, good molotovs, exist in position. I don't think we'll get much out of this though. Maybe one kill, not quite. Slight gap in the smoke there, and he gets a double kill. All right, Twist. They needed a miracle, and that's a good start. CT on the steps, that's going to be JW, and he's got a guaranteed kill here. This is falling apart. Faze, surely give this one up.
Oh, he's got the angle. Oh, he didn't cross JW. Twist is in jungle, just waiting. Is Twist scoped in? That's the question. Oh, you know Nico's going to get this one. Maybe not. I guess he was. 4K for Twist.
Not bad, is it?
Yeah, busy queue for the bus on the A bomb site. It took 2 out. That was huge. Always nice to see the corner of the gap there. Well, Eddie Twist is looking good. He is top fragging by far for his side. So Crims with 7 kills. Beyond that, best is 4. But Twist has got 13 so far.
Killing them.
That was huge.
This is high impact sniping, boys. Holds up patiently as well. Lets Nico play himself.
The crab walk, just missing the knife.
Has Nico got no gun? He's got Glock only. He just did. Oh, there it is. About to say. That doesn't really make sense. But fast A approach here, sending 3 players up the palace, trying to counter the fact they have snipers. Twist, who actually gets wrecked at the start, 8 HP, but still alive and kicking here, needs to do everything he can to hold up a rotation. Molotov might be the end of him, though. It will certainly flush him out. The 4 versus 3 bomb going to be planted here, no problem. And we'll see JW rotate in, but not in time. Carrigan gets the plant down, but Scream barreling in now from the jungle area. Gives Fnatic a fighting chance. There we go.
That works.
Yep.
Another AWP to be collected if they want it. They probably do. And Fnatic got on the road to recovery in this half. 3 rounds, they can get 6. Yeah. Twist delivering, JW delivering as well. I would like to see...
They had 2 smokes there just to no phase. They could have smoked spawn.
Ooh. I would like to see JW return to his hyper-aggressive AWP play every so often. If you do it all the time, it becomes predictable. Oh, he really wants it. Standing in the fire. This might be a quick one from Faze, it seems. On the eco, of course. It's looking like a wipeout half, but now it's all change here for Fnatic.
Easy kills. No? Yes.
No? Yes. Yes, indeed. Fnatic right back in this game, courtesy of Twist and his AWP. The double kill on the eco. Draw them back to life. Maybe even get 9-6 here, we'll see. Twist and JW once again. JW 7 kills, Twist with 14. Following that trend.
And off they go. Molotov into the connector position, so that angle cannot be held by a CT for now. Crims will deploy that smoke. The CTs can look over that. The Ts must respect it. Delays the take of connector by the Ts, which is almost a given during a round. Crims, there you go. Not even a normal angle you peek. Normally it's the other side.
Well, there you go. Crims opening things up. That's Olof going down. Former Fnatic legend, of course. And Crims pulls back in towards that connector. Nico flashed off, not in the palace area this time. It's Rain who focuses towards connector, looking to find a frag in return, but Crims positioned perfectly here. knows it's a difficult angle to peek. Rain doesn't fully commit to the check of the corner there and makes some noise. JW looking sharper and sharper as the game continues here. See all removed, 3 AKs up against a fully equipped Fnatic, and another kill comes in favor of Crims, and that looks like that'll be round. Unless Nico causes absolute destruction here from the A ramp. Takes an A to the face, and they're running out of time here. 35 seconds at this point. Carrigan in the same position. This is all down to Nico, really. He needs to open things up and give them something to work with here on the A site.
It's not really enough time for them to make too much happen here. Gonna go for it, and the CTs know it. And it just gets worse. 1 versus 4 for Carrigan. Force the plants. Again, time, big problem. Even if he gets that kill, it's still very troublesome here. 10 seconds to go, and he's committed to it. And there it is, finished off. Fnatic looking like they're straight back in this one, which is really nice considering that Faze not only were playing very well, but they had some really good reads and some good clutches, which really did not allow Fnatic to get any say at all for the first 10 rounds or so.
You know, I think it's worth players knowing how to smoke jungle properly from up a ramp. Because there's a lot of times late in a round where it's a 2-on-2 or something where a proper smoke there could save you. You saw there was a big gap in the one that was thrown on the fly there. So I think the situation arrived often enough where it could help. No one could help Faze though on a ramp, not from Crims.
Too strong.
Rain and Guardian remain. And looks pretty good for a 6-9 scoreline for Fnatic at half-time.
I wondered if Scream would actually have a really good performance, because I would imagine, you know, as Henry mentioned, sure there will be calls in English, but I would imagine that there will still be a lot of Swedish chatter going on. So, and anytime I've played in lineups where I've been standing in for Swedish teams in the past, that would be the case. Yeah. and it was quite interesting because you feel sort of like you're in this isolated bubble, and it actually feels easier to perform sometimes because you're a stand-in, so there's less pressure, first of all, and then secondly, you don't have all the information, so it doesn't feel like anyone's going to blame you for not having all the information, not putting forward your best performance. I don't know, there's something about it that for me it just felt easier to have good performances.
I would imagine that you can tune out from if there's something relevant, they'll say it in English, unless they're idiots. So I think it's cool from that respect.
5 rounds in a row from Fnatic in the end there. That was a 9-1 game.
Yeah.
And Twist, he wins that round for them with 1 AWP, P250s only. And
Familiar Faze story.
Yeah, true. That does seem to happen a lot, doesn't it? There's that one round you give up to an eco, then it all falls apart very, very quickly.
The floodgates.
Yes, indeed.
The levees broke.
They have been broken down by Twist.
At least it was the first half.
Yeah.
Rather than the second.
That's true. Ooh. Bad all off. Taking down the aforementioned Twist. Stays alive as well. Didn't really take any damage for it. Not bad.
I would like to see, if he's going to jump up there, I would like to see a teammate with a flashbang for him. Like the Cloud9 CT pistol run I used to run on Mirage, or they do every so often. Where they would have Tariq jump on the balcony, he would spot if they see any players. It was against NIP, I made a video of it. They had the counter flashes there, and all the guys just got jammed back next to the window, completely blind and annihilated. Really strong setup, but now they look for more information phase. Rain trying to keep an eye on the connector position, but as we can see, there is a boost. However, you see that blue laser spotting this position. And with a man advantage, maybe Guardian will be comfortable to stay here. 2 players in B, so we can just focus on this. And Rain spots one in connector. Oh, nice from Rain with the P2000.
Ooh, that's crispy, isn't it? And it's going to be JW finding the first kill for Fnatic here. Looks at the pincer towards B. It's real. Only 2 players up, though, making it 1. Scream left is 4 players to find. Not looking as crispy. Does get 1 before he goes down, just to know. That's Carrigan getting dropped, so the P250 did deliver. But that was all Rain for me. That shot towards Palace especially was fantastic. Very composed. Very calm. Manages to single click. I love the P2000. I think it's so much more satisfying than the USP. You're seeing more and more of it these days. More players picking it up.
Guardian had one job, to watch the pool space. Somehow JW got through it.
It happens. But here we go, full eco again. This time on the T side. And it will be Guardian getting wrecked by the Glocks to kick things off.
It's not a good start. He knows there's likely no Kevlar in this round, so he goes USP only, but he needs to stay alive, I believe, to afford his AWP. And he will do that.
Gets
with 2 kills,
well.
of course, yeah. $600 bonus, nice.
So he gets the AWP out super early. That's cool. Surely it's coming.
That USP is pretty cool.
But we see a contact play, some fast set piece, something to deny the AWP. That'd be cool. That said, the MP9s can play really 4 positions effectively, and that's a really good way to counter those fast set pieces and contact plays. And you can see they'll go immediately sort of stack 4 towards the A bomb site, perhaps anticipating a fast contact play into the A bomb site, which will not be happening. And they're committed, so they have to push forwards with it to get the information, and they will go down here. And a quick avenue opened up towards that B bomb site will be free for Fnatic.
Yeah, might as well save now. Guardians AWP. They've got an AK for Rain, for FAMAS. JW will be dropped though, and there's no way the CTs go for this one. So it was a bonus round. You can see what they were trying to do at that point. I guess that is the new one. In that third round, you've got residual SMGs. You're going to try and push for a kill, see if they can get a successful opening frag towards that A ramp. Couldn't really sit back, but they're leaving with better weaponry than they entered the round with. So sure, they lose the round, but now they've got 2 AKs and the AWP. It's actually stronger than the MP9s they had before. So this isn't too bad. They can definitely buy up around this. Give it a go on this sort of round. You know you're probably likely to lose it, but if you can save up 3 weapons like this, it's fantastic. They'll maintain their lead and still have plenty of money to buy into the next round. That's if all 3 survive, which is looking likely right now. You can see Fnatic turtled up in the bomb site, going to be leaving through the B apartments there. Olofmeister waiting on the T side of that position, but I don't think they'll go all the way through.
Eco really took a bullet for the president there on the ramp. They were double picking next to each other, pretty close, and he just just jumped out, just absorbing all the bullets.
Bodyguard.
They'll name a street after him. It is good. He had, I believe, the MP9 as well, which does have one of the best, if not the best, jumping accuracy for the SMGs. So it is reasonable to do that. But also take the fire away from your teammates. Guardian.
Careful.
Waiting for a smoke to come into the window, give himself a gap. There was a smoke there last round. There isn't one just yet this round.
And that could be the ultimate bait from Fnatic. You change it up each round, make him waste the incendiary, arguably. That could be quite cool. They're going for the attack.
A lot of the bomb drops in apartments. They threw it on the floor instead of on the player. So they gave some information away. But you never know if it's fake or not. You can drop an AK and make the same noise. Which Olof actually does sometimes. Not many people do.
Good stuff from Nico. Takes down Scream. First duel 1. You can see this terrorist now actually in a lot of trouble. They have flashbangs only. No other utility to speak of, but they have both frags. JW as ever working his way through the window area. Ooh. Takes down Nico, gets himself on the ledge here, looks towards short. Perfectly done. Olof though, he might know a few of his tendencies by the looks of things.
He's good, isn't he?
Yep. Ready for that. Played with JW for many years. I'm sure he's seen that maneuver a few times.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like that move from JW. It's a great option after getting the kill from a repositioning standpoint. And Karrigan will defend again. He's been having a pretty good game. 17-9 at the moment is Karrigan, leading the way on the fragging for Faze.
Oh dear. They heard the rotation of Guardian, but they waited. I was going to say they waited too long, but apparently not. Twist showing his skill. Rain, though, has taken the bomb out, and now Twist has a lot to do in 12 seconds.
Yeah.
So a bomb plant looks very unlikely in this situation. Can he try to force somebody out, though? He knows they want to stop him from planting the bomb, but it seems he'll find hold on to his AK. Will he get around the corner? 1 second, 20 HP. Goodbye, Twist will hide.
He'll get no money, but he does survive with the AK. It looks like his teammates can't really justify a force there. They might fancy it, considering it could be a reset round with the AK they've got. Fnatic are known to buy aggressively, but I don't think this is the one. PT50 and a Deagle, that's all that comes out. 13-7 looking likely unless Twist can do something miraculous once again with the only weapon available. He did it with the AWP before, which is more likely to be successful than a single rifle, but you never know. The newly signed member to Fnatic as they rebuild. 2018 has been a very turbulent year for them. Some massive success stories with the Katowice victory, but then so many roster changes now and looking like the worst Fnatic we've maybe ever seen, because remember, they didn't make it to the final 8 of the major for the first time in a very a long time. It's only Olofmeister that keeps that record going of attending every playoff of every major he's attended. And Twist won't get it done. That's the AK removed. No one there to pick it up.
No flashes for him for the ladder room in this particular round with the pistols. JW exist and Crims remain. One player taken out. 2 players would be fabulous. That's not the bomb spotted. Bomb moving up the ramp position with exist, and now you start to wonder if this becomes winnable. Nico rotating to that CT position. Carrigan getting his bell rung. That HE though could be fatal with no Kevlar on these players, but it won't be. Will the bomb get planted? Oh dear.
Don't go for the safe plan there. You'd think they'd go for connector and at least have that covered, but good grenade. At least keep them in the round. 25 seconds here. Another plant attempted. Carrigan might be able to deny. Not quite, and he'll go down to the AK of Crims. But this is it again. Another eco victory for Fnatic. Will they have the same results as last time? And there it is. Remember, they were 9-1 down before. They win an eco. Pretty much the exact same scenario. It was Twist who had an AWP before. This time he had the AK. But it wasn't the catalyst of the victory. It was the Deagle headshots, really, as Exist gets it done. They plant successfully, and Crim finishes things off. Money there for Faze, but not a bunch of it. You can see they've got 2 players on lesser weaponry. Deagle for Nico and an MP9 for Carrigan.
Smoke forcing Guardian away, as one might expect. And waiting for him. Too obvious for JW. Nico will collect the orb. This might be an interesting play. Nico can surprise Fnatic there with a peek, but you can see that he's not too sure about it, which would be sensible. I think JW was holding that for quite some time. So instead, Nico just falls back with the AWP. No nades pretty much on Faze. They've got an incendiary and a flash. That's it, with over a minute to go. So Nico likely needs to make a play happen here. Get some kills on the board before these T's get onto the bomb site. There's a good one. That's a nice start for Faze, but they're still in a lot of trouble because the B split is impending.
That was unlucky for Fnatic. They tried to do a pop flash for that position, but it got hit on the table support. They didn't do the job. Olofmeister holding down a short position now, and maybe that failed flashbang will change this entire round. JW fighting through the flames before the peak is predictable. Scream doing Scream things, and now we're in a 3 versus 2 all of a sudden. Molotov, but Rain will make his way through it. Did they hear it connect with him? Scream taken out, trying to plant the bomb. Now we've got 2 versus 2. All of a sudden it's back in favor of Faze. Rain forced away from the HE. He will deliver the last kill there.
Not bad at all.
You do wonder. Yeah, you throw that flash off the wall and it lands in front of the window. So if you're holding an angle towards short, you're blind. But it hit the table leg, and then everything changes.
The game sense there is so cool, you know, from Rain to realize that once he makes it forwards through that position, which is supposed to hold off any pushes, it's like no one will be covering the bomb planter from that position.
Yeah.
And
he could have taken the default peek towards the main archers, but went around the side, they weren't watching it, and then had the awareness to know his teammate probably covering him from the balcony position. Didn't work out. Another eco, but maybe a victory here for Fnatic. Nico goes down again to a Deagle, and there could be a second frag here. Not quite. Olofmeister struggling though. Surely will be traded out at this point. It's the Glock coming out on top. It's all falling apart. This was a full eco, as now Guardian has to defend. He'll miss the shot, in fact, as it looks like this could all fall apart. 3 versus 2. Bomb plant attempt coming in. It looks like it will be a bit of a fake out. Actually, here comes the bomb here. Beg your pardon. Scream is coming in just after. They're doing so much damage towards Guardian. It's uncomfortable at best right now. Where's the other CT? That's Carrigan. They're coming from CT spawn as well. Trying to be aggressive here, but it hasn't worked out. Another eco victory for Fnatic. That's 3 on the board.
Bloody hell.
That's reset the money as well.
Damn.
Man, it's like they swapped places as far as economy is concerned. Jeez. It's like Lopez's Tesla bets came through. Now they're flush with money. I'm enjoying his tweets. Well then.
Smoke down. Rain's got a gap though. Tiny one, waiting for them to stop spamming before he commits to it. Don't think it'll be the reason they win this round, but we'll see.
Oh! Fnatic and the HEs. Seems they've been doing their homework.
Why have we got Nico here? Skadoodle retired from Pro CS.
What?
That has been announced.
Skadoodle's retired?
Yeah.
He played a game of FPL yesterday, won 16-0, then retired. He's just going out champ.
He's just been announced on Twitter. Skadoodle is officially stepping back from Counter-Strike Global Offensive Senior History achieved that will never be forgotten. So he went to rifling. We'll just talk about his wise on Nico. Went to a rifler for, what, 2 weeks, and then he's just quit completely. I think it's probably about time. Maybe he's for like, I'm going to leave 2018, winning a major, leave it all behind.
Nah, man, he left 16-0 in FPL. That's how he left.
Yeah, that's how he's doing it. Oh, Nico. There's a chance, but looks like it will not be truly realized here, as the bomb will be planted any second. It's going to take some wild deagle headshots now to stand a chance here. It's not bad, but no chance here, surely. Nice to spawn. Smoke down, no headshots to be found. Double digits for Fnatic. And Skadoodle is gone. Who replaces him? They bring another Swede in. Draken can come in now.
It just says he's taking a break.
Make it full Swede, Cloud9.
I've got my gear, bro.
Yeah?
I've been playing every day. I'm ready. I'm ready.
He's said this a couple of times, though. And he came back pretty quickly.
I feel like this will be the one, Dan.
You think this is the one?
But did he actually say that he's retiring then?
Yeah,
said,
retiring from CSGO.
He said that he's taking a break in his quote. Let me bring it up.
He'll probably come back and play for a
little bit. He said he's stepping back from the competitive scene.
I am taking a break from the competitive CSGO. So a break and retirement.
You misled us, Henry.
Well, that's what it says in the headline here. Cloud9 is officially stepping back from Counter-Strike Global Offensive competitive scene.
But it's different from retiring, isn't
Well, I can only read out what it says in the Cloud9 official statement, can't I?
That's what I'm reading as well. I'm reading.
Stop lying, Henry.
Counter-Strike Cloud9. Skadoodle is officially stepping back from Counter-Strike Global Offensive competitive scene. That says to me.
I can step back. What button is it? It's the S button.
Anyway, that's what it says. But obviously his statement reads differently.
It says taking a break in multiple places in the Cloud9.
Dan, I'm doing a live broadcast while reading that out. Forgive me for not having every single detail while you read it while not talking.
Henry's like poor man's TMZ.
Yeah.
Fast mid aggression coming in from Faze, working out pretty well so far. The deep smoke. It's really cool how common that's become. And in the meantime, the response from Fnatic was to take the space given to them with that mid-aggression from the CTs. The A bomb site was up for grabs, and that's what they are pushing on towards so far, but it's proving laboured. Still have to beat out Rain on the stairs position. Doing some good damage here. The bomb planted in the open. Rain will have more duels here as Nico's opened up as well, and the health on the remaining players is very poor here for Fnatic, so a struggle to see them make this one work. Oh, thought the lineup was happening once again, but JW able to steal one away and just gets into safety in the nick of time.
They've got two smokes there. One should be used to ramp on for the bomb. They should be absolutely fine. But there's only one kid available. They can somehow get Carrigan. That would be great, but there it is. That should be it now. The defuse is there. Nico covering it. Going to find the 14th round, no problem. A little bit hairy towards the end with the all-potential JW. But FaZe, after losing 3 rounds in a row, have stabilized somewhat. They've got a double up set up now as we get into the next round.
I like the idea of the flash from JW, but the timing, unfortunately, was still too early. FaZe being very, very careful. It's running out into the gun, but indeed there is plenty of cash here for Fnatic, so they can keep the pressure high, really high. FaZe have to win 2 in a row, and then who knows, the bomb plant could change everything. Guardian getting super aggressive, making his way back into safety for the time being. Smokes all over the place. 4 players for Fnatic. Now we've got those 2 smokes on short. Maybe there's an inkling, a reading from FaZe as to what might be possible, hence these HEs.
Boosting up towards short, trying to find the opening pick here. It exists. Eventually, surely connects the shot, but not quite. It's going to be Nico trying to connect. There it is from Exist. Stays up there. Break to do so, but gets the kill in return. It's an HE around the corner. No one to receive it. Bomb there in the apartments of B. Olafmeister holding it with the AW. Not sure this shot's going to connect though. Will have to fall off eventually as he drops the incendiary to try and buy himself some more time. It looks like he'll do so efficiently and push them back, in fact.
Well then, no map control for them. I do wonder if Rain will have a push of a ramp. Maybe he'll have to now. Wolfmeister taken out towards the bench. Fnatic though, wondering if they've been compromised elsewhere. The bomb moving away from the B bomb site. But Rain has not gone for a push. He's moving into that into the corner, the fireboxes. That would have been huge for FaZe, but maybe they will feel like they cannot take a gamble here because the reset would be horrific. But with Fnatic with 20 seconds on the clock having to walk through Palace, Rain gets one kill, that could win the round for FaZe.
10 seconds to bomb this bomb. Rain. Ooh, he's dropped the bomber. Can they get it in time? Just picked up 7 seconds, 6. Need 3.5 to plant it. There goes the plants. Nice shot coming in from Guardian. So fun in the nick of time here, they'll fall back. The health is low on everyone. Just Guardian with the AWP. Out comes a molly. That's going to delay him significantly.
That touches him at all, he's done for. Needs to be very careful with scope position here. The Flames won't quite reach him. I don't think he fancies it. So low and doesn't have intel as to where these two players are. Presumably in the crossfire, which they are. And he'll have to give this one up as Fnatic claw their way back into the game. It's FaZe who win one back but then get reset consistently. They keep losing to the ecos as well. That's been a problem for them. Guardian will get this kill though. Quick scope to guarantee it, and it will be exist being dropped. And Scream to survive here. The bomb will not touch Guardian at this distance. 14-12. Absolutely wrecked financially again. And they'll presumably maybe force buy around this AWP. I don't think they will, considering they get so deep into the game. They might just have to allow Fnatic to get to 14-14 and try and just hold on to the AWP and close it out towards the end. But this is now Fnatic right back in this one, unless Guardian goes wild with the sniper here. Jumps across, spots a player, doesn't fancy the challenge though, just focuses towards middle.
Well, he's got his angle towards mid for the time being. Dicey round for FaZe. 2-round lead.
Yeah, I don't think that will last very long.
What was it, 9-1 it started?
Yep.
And now, here we are. They've won 5 rounds since then. That is that's going to be frustrating for sure, especially in the current situation. Now, only Olofmeister is on the B bomb site, so it's pretty much already safe territory. I cannot imagine the bomb will, sorry, the AWP will be committed to this. As Olofmeister, sorry, Guardian is on the A bomb site. So there we are. That is the round for Fnatic, and now they are one away. Once again, they get another chance to build their money. So even if FaZe get to match point, Fnatic are very likely to have a bye anyway in the next round. So it is an uphill struggle for FaZe in this situation.
Indeed it is. Looks like Guardian might be able to get a couple of kills. Actually boosting up, that's very smart. The awareness is fantastic. Guardian spots one though. Gonna get the kill. Be careful here. Takes down JW at least. That will get them a little bit worried. Guardian though needs to hold on to the orb. Can't really risk challenging for much more here. There is a player coming in towards Connector. It's gonna be Twist. Will they be able to deny the orb? If they do, that's so big for them. So looks like Guardian will survive there. Just confirming that. It's a little bit scary for him, but it doesn't face again. 14-13, they buy up this round as FaZe hold on to the orb. If a miracle they do so. Fnatic knocking on the door though, as they take a pause and distribute out the wealth.
One thing I always enjoyed about the Fnatic identity in the past was that you could never count them out, really, on any situation, any scoreline. They always just fight. They just find something, even if. You know, there are a lot of teams that, you know, you look at them and maybe they won't have a default that really looks consistent to open up the round, or maybe they won't have any good set pieces, or strategically they don't look great, and you're just like, well, these guys, they haven't shown us anything, they're not going to get back into this one. But Fnatic, they'll find a cheeky kill somehow, and then they'll turn it into some interesting mid-round situation, and then they'll scrap out and brawl out the rest. And that was something that was always super exciting about them. So it's good to see that. We still see glimpses of that. Smokes again from Fnatic. Crims is on a mission. Ooh, he's going to find one as well by default. Lovely stuff. Nico's down. And the pressure's on now for FaZe.
You can definitely do that every few rounds. If you're noticing they're not really deploying a lot of their utility towards apartments at the start or even probing towards it, just having that surprise factor and walking out like that can be incredibly frustrating to play against, but a smart move from Crims finds the first kill as Rain tries to pull it back here. Spots one, does damage, can't really justify the commitment though. Has to pull back knowing he's done a bit of damage there towards Scream. Great shot from Existo, that takes down Rain. And now another huge advantage here for Fnatic off the back of that first pick. Molotovs towards Spawn, this might be a save already, but Olofmeister, he'll get one back. If Guardian can do the same, they might be onto something here.
Or maybe not. JW taking Olofmeister out. There's a bomb planted. I do wonder, with that peek from Crims, I wonder if it was... Oh. Did he hear? I think he heard a player there. Maybe his barrel was seen as he was moving around. They didn't... Fnatic didn't smoke window that round. And I think that's more likely to keep a sniper around the window and not looking towards Palace as Crims walks out. So I do wonder if those two things were related. It's pretty cool. Very brazen play from Crims. Again, Guardian trying to hold on to what little he has available. Can be a hell of a lot for Faze. God, he's so good, isn't he? He's so bloody good.
Just gets everyone.
He makes it look so easy.
Just going collecting all the bits and pieces now.
Fnatic are going to win this game. This is like I think this is the first time that they've tied, right? At 14-14.
I would imagine so.
So they've been behind the entire game until 14-14. And they're just going to win now, 16-14, because the money is not looking good for FaZe.
They're going for overtime, FaZe.
So they've won 5 rounds in 19 rounds, FaZe. In the last 19 rounds, they've won 5 rounds.
Yeah. Exactly.
And once again, it's another round. Crikey. Guardian versus the world. I'd still pick Guardian, to be honest, in most cases.
This timing. Rain spots him, capitalizes upon it, does get another AWP here. Now that's a bit of a mistake from Fnatic. Having the AWP solo in Palace, risking everything there. Takes the CZ at a close range to take it down. One missed shot. Rain manages to give the AWP. I'll give it to Nico, in fact. Rain doesn't even fancy it. He definitely isn't comfortable with the sniper. Guardian presumably nails this shot though. Crims wrecks through the wall. And now it's a 5 versus 3. This will be the first eco victory for FaZe so far.
He knows you don't stand there. Everybody jumps past that angle.
He's got him. They're locked in. Olofmeister gets one in the back. This could be a clean sweep on the eco. Scream 5 versus 1. FaZe looked out of it, but a couple of decent plays from the FaZe individuals have found themselves a bit of luck finally with the pistols. And Scream presumably goes down as well. He'll get one consolation kill here. 30 seconds remaining. Can't really do much of this whatsoever.
Got to frag as many players as possible.
Deny them picking up rifles as well.
My God, what's happened there?
It's an absolute meltdown.
I thought for a second that maybe it could be a blessing in disguise. JW goes down towards Palace. You know, there's an AWP there. They're going to think, okay, we'll just run a... Because they're going to run, you know, smokes on B, and which would be really successful against double AWPs, but not if one of the AWPs is just able to get a couple kills from because there's no, you know, end of apartment smoke. So
is this the way it ends? They've got pistols now in round number 30 after being 9-1 down. They brought it back to 14-14. And they lose out in round number 30. That's going to be the worst way to give it up.
It's not done just yet. 3 AKs, couple CZs, fast play up the short position. Although the counter utility from the CTs is going to make life very, very toasty. And that's Twist done. And the utility, again, from the CTs also split up the Ts on the attack as well. So really well done by FaZe with that utility usage. I think there's a tick that hit Crims, right?
Yes.
So they heard him there.
Well, 5 and 4 still. One of those players was the pistol user though. Twist is down. 21 frags to his name. His teammates are going to have to find a lot more here. JW holding connector. Looks like a B play though. Olof in position to defend it. They've got a couple of flashbangs and one smoke as they make their way up towards shore here. This next kill is absolutely everything. If Carrigan goes down, maybe there's a chance. Could happen, but not quite. Exist will be dropped as they commit towards B. Olof going to hit it. That looks like it might be it. 4 versus 2, but still JW finds the secondary frag. Time ticking away. Crims will have to wait for him. CT still with the advantage.
Oh, did he hear a reload? He knows one's there, but if you peek over, it's a very advantageous spot for the CTs. Creating a distraction now, and in comes JW. He's got to trade 10 seconds to get the bomb down, though, as FaZe know it. Flash comes in, it's perfect. JW, oh, delayed again. Can't quite find it, and he's now screwed completely. That 16-14 FaZe will deny the comeback right at the end after going up, what, 9-1 in the first half. Fnatic, though, really good recovery. You got to hand it to them. They never looked out of this one.
It's a good recovery, but unfortunately in this sort of environment, we are essentially playing best of ones. All it does is really warm you up for that next map. But that's something, though. They had some great rounds there. You have to remember, Fnatic won 3 eco rounds there. I would say FaZe with a better squad, but Fnatic impressed me with their tenacity towards the end. That was actually quite exciting. A great game overall. We got to see them really lock horns, and FaZe really sweated out. James, 9-1 down, you bring it back to 16-14. That's going to be a massive sigh of relief and maybe quite frustrating for Fnatic, right?
Yes, it did look like a write-off at the beginning when you get to that 9-1 scoreline. This is going to be a smash of a game. Winning 3 ecos is definitely an anomaly, so... but I mean, credit to them for doing that. But it all fell apart. That second last round was just absolutely horrific. Fair enough, the first frag, but being an AWP angle towards B, when you know that there's another now AWP somewhere else, is absolutely suicidal, and it's went from bad to worse, and FaZe pulled it over the line, as they should, considering the lead they got. I'm sure it'll be a frustrating game for all round in that respect, but a W is a W.
Indeed. After being 9-1 up, it came right down to the wire. 16-14 is how it looked in terms of the scoreboard. Nico, 29 frags. He was, what, 12-1 at one stage as well. Really came out of the trap looking extra hot. And at the bottom was carrying, you see everyone fragged equally well on FaZe. No one really dropping off there. Exists a little bit quieter than the rest of his teammates. Crim's had one hell of a game there, keeping them alive towards that connector on the T side and CT side. Great game overall. Exciting way to kick off this fixture. We have one more map between these two teams, and for me, that all came down to those EK victories for Fnatic. They really needed those, but FaZe can only be so mad about that because they closed out the game with an eco victory themselves.
Imagine if they don't lose those ecos, though. The scoreline's probably very different to what we saw.
And I don't think it was mainly them giving them up too much. Just Fnatic are just one of those teams. Dan mentioned it. They're so tenacious, right? They're so good at staying in games. That's one of their calling cards for so long. Maybe not this year, but the heyday Fnatic, they were always so good at the CZ, the Deagles. When you thought you had them done, they could always get back into the game. And maybe they can get back into the second matchup as well. We'll take a quick break and be back with FaZe and Fnatic, and we'll see if that game delivers just like the first one did.